Hey, what's up? This is MJ. First of all, pardon my voice. It's allergy season in Japan. Cherry blossom season, so I'm getting all the effects of allergies. So I'm here to show you or walk you through how I use OpenClaw as a personal assistant, and I'll just dive right in. So right here on the left, you'll see my Telegram with my bot. And here is the typical stuff that you would have done with like a Claude Code, for example, where you're doing development work. And I use it for a lot of development work, but more like a project manager where I'm doing most of the work with Claude Code on my desktop. It has the ability to go in and make edits. I've given it the some pretty restrictive keys to Azure and to my GitHub repository. So if I'm busy and I wanted to do something, this was before Claude came out with all of those changes like dispatch. But this is still more valuable than those because with dispatch, your laptop has to be open. And with this, I could just talk to my agent and it does those changes for me. So that's one thing. And the other thing is where I have it just act as a way to help me get through personal stuff in life. Like I live in Japan. I had to do a whole bunch of stuff related to my permanent residency. I have different kinds of paperwork to do. There's a lot of paperwork in Japan, and this thing has helped me with that. And it just helps me move things along outside of living in Japan, but work, personal life with family, and my personal projects. As you see, there's some development stuff here. It has access to Azure, so it's telling me what's going on. What's really nice is the personality that it had, or at least it had before Anthropic took away the keys to the kingdom. We're no longer allowed to use our max plan with Claude, with OpenClaw, and now you're only assigned the API. So you need an API key for this to work. But before that, it was the $200, and I was able to use it here and use it on my computer. And the personality that Claude Code had, absolutely phenomenal. And that is how it was able to give me weekend updates, which is something I ask it to do. Things to do with me and my family. For example, I have a 5-year-old, so this helps with that. But for example, I get morning reports right here where it shows all the stuff that I'm concerned with, where I live, tech news, global news, economy, sports, other stuff that it thinks is pertinent, and where I'm at with my projects, some example marketing material, and some priorities for today. Telegram is one interface that I use to talk with my agent, quick chats, but all of the reports that it gives me, it sits on my Obsidian Vault. I use that to see or read the full reports. Sometimes I ask it to do research for me and it gives me research. It is really like a project management dashboard, if you will. I journal into it to track my mood and the stuff that is going on with me as far as my projects are concerned and things happening in life. And it just moves things along with the context that I give it. And it has been a revelation, really. So with that, I wanted to build something simpler for the layman, if you will. So I created something similar as a web app which connects to Telegram or Line similarly, but everything is in one interface. And right here you see like a journal, and that's what this is, this project right here. It tracks my journals throughout the days. It tracks tasks that I'm working on. It tracks my ideas, and it has memory. And it's pretty similar to what you would expect a journal app to do and what you would see on Obsidian. And here I have this thing called a constellation, and what it does is it tracks all of my lessons learned. Like this says lesson constellation. It tracks all of my lessons learned through all of the projects and the content that we've written and worked on together, so that I don't have to repeat the same mistakes again. And so the agent also doesn't have to repeat the same mistakes again, right? It goes through my memories and my lessons learned, and it uses that in the context of whatever I'm working on next. So for example, sleep and energy. It's like when sleep is fragmented, expect low energy the next day, which is of course common, but sometimes you don't realize it until you're going through it. And it shows semantic connections between this. So sleep and energy, it's connected to moderate energy and recovery, which is planned recovery time after late night events, like attending a convention, and fitness habits. A 10-day plus gym gap is a signal to treat the next session as a momentum restart, not just a routine workout. Prioritize it explicitly. But lessons here that I've learned throughout our communication get placed here. And then I have goals and things that I'm working on and my streak, which is right here. And then We have a gravity tracker, which is a proof of concept to track loans to see to help people, because my whole goal is to try to help people. So I have this in here to see if it's possible to track paying off loans, whether that be student loans or just regular debt, because right now a lot of people are suffering through debt. And then finally, in your settings, you could, if you so desire, it's not a necessity, you can integrate your Google account where you could track your calendar and your Gmail and your mail as they come in. You could connect your Reddit so you could read stuff for you so you don't have to go through a doom scroll. We have scheduled task. There's a few duplicates here. I was just doing some testing. But we have scheduled task where I ask it to repeat work over and over again. So every day at 5 a.m., it gives me a workout plan, for example. It gives me a morning briefing. It gives me an outreach reminder for one of my businesses. It gives me an evening check-in. And then it gives me a weekly reflection of how we did, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then it gives me a week ahead review. And I could set these as background, like I don't want to hear about it, or I don't need it to be, I just want to read it. But if I want to go back and forth with the agent, I could set them to main. You have your AI providers. Right now, they are these cheaper models, because things like Claude Opus and Sonnet 4.6 cost a lot of money. So I got Kimi K25 and Minimax M27, which are pretty decent models. They're not Opus, of course, but they get the job done. And I would say for security, my background is in security. I've made sure these have proper guardrails in place. And everything that is related to this goes through the Django middleware layer. So I made sure I made that as airtight as possible, so your stuff is not getting stolen by malicious actors. And by your stuff, it's anybody that wants to test this out. So once again, I'm so sorry I'm so stuffy. This sounds absolutely crazy, but I appreciate you checking this out. Let me know if you have any questions. And also, what are you working on? What's your project with OpenClaw, if you have one? And I think that's pretty much it. All right, so that's been MJ. Peace.